Make no mistake about it, Arsenal are serious Premier League title contenders after beating Man United 3-1 at the Emirates in what is a crazy game. Only a few weeks into the season, let's be completely real. But it was a crazy game because Man United stole a lead, and then Arsenal get back into it with resilience, with leadership, and some quality from Declan Rice. And make no mistake about it, Arsenal are in a Premier League title race. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Loads of content coming out this week. Let's be completely real. Arsenal versus Man United, was it a classic in terms of footballing quality? No. Will it be a classic if Arsenal go on to win the Premier League title this season? Yes. Because these games, Arsenal United, can often be boring drools. You know, United were the worst side today. There's no question about it. They could have won the game, justifiably so. They would have definitely had some claims for that. Spurs, Arsenal, you know, Chelsea, Man United. Some of these games are dross because of the rivalry, the anxiety, the tension between the fans. So this game's a little bit like that. But for Arsenal to get over the line, to kind of dominate in the final 15 minutes, they showed a lot of leadership at the back end of last season. They've simply not done. And that's what's so impressive about it for me today. Again, obviously, we'll talk about all the goals in this video. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Let's be completely real. United were poor today. They're in a world of pain, in my opinion. This has got Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire running around. That was at the back end of the game. But Marcus Rashford still offers them glimmers of hope, glimmers of the opportunity to be a consistent side challenging the big sides in the league. The way he cuts in and hits it off the post is an unbelievable finish. I'm not sure what Saliba and Ben White are doing. Maybe that kind of makeshift effect, not makeshift, but changing the defence after Partey's injury. Maybe they were a little bit too close, and if they'd had a few more weeks together like they had at the start of last season, then maybe they'd be a little bit more spread out, a bit more maybe organisationally aware even. So Rashford scores and it's 1-0. And this is all about Arsenal's mentality, because I think they've been soft from March last season, March this year, to April to May. They bottled a 247-day lead. That is massive. It's not just a tweet. It's not just banter. These are serious things. For a big football club like that to lose the title is crazy, really. And I think it's the first sign I've seen of them having a real recharge of energy and momentum going back into a new, renewed Premier League title race. Because if they lose this game, then it's 1 point out of a possible 6, and City got maximum points. A draw against Fulham now looks like a less of a bad result, because getting over the line against Man United, they've learned a few difficulties. They've gotten over already early hurdle of Timber's injury. They've had to reshape the defence a little bit. They tried to put Partey in there to balance it up. That's not worked. He's got injured as well, which is absolutely crazy. So they got back to basics. They played really well on the ball against Man United, and it was that kind of pressure that instantly, as soon as they conceded, Arsenal looked angry. They looked frustrated to be 1-0 down again. It felt a little bit reminiscent to me of kind of, well, F it, fuck it to the wall. Let's just, you know, go at Man United, because being 1-0 down was a little bit of an embarrassment. They were on the ball. I think they dominated Man United. I think they just said, you know, F it, let's have a go. And they did within a minute, and they scored a beautiful little ball. I think it was Martinelli on the inside of his foot, playing it back towards Odegaard, smashed it on his left foot. It's a great finish. The energy in the Emirates, it never felt like it diminished. It felt like it was always confident of getting that equaliser. To get it so early actually kills Man United. I think if you're Man United, you'd rather not have the Rashford goal, hit them with a surprise late in the game and win 1-0. The fact they scored early and then conceded so early, they never got back to that rhythm. They never looked like scoring again, Man United, really. Maybe the Garnacho offside chance. But then it all boils over into the second half. There's a Garnacho offside. If it's really offside, I've not seen enough of it. Fair play. For me, it's like so tight. He would have made it 2-1 to Man United. It was a great finish as well from Garnacho. There's no question about that. There was a penalty call for Havertz. For me, it's really soft. I think he was a little bit diving, it was a little bit clumsy from Havertz, and I really don't like it. I don't think he had a good game. I think he was a passenger the whole game. To see him kind of dive in and try and get things off of fellow players is poor, in my opinion. That's just my take. But then there's some absolutely beautiful moments of quality in the 95th minute. And this is classic Man United. I think they've been callous, I think weak, porous even, defensively. When their heads go down, they really go down. They're like ostriches in the sand. They can't bear not being the top dog. Once they're once they're taken down a peg, they really bottle it, in my opinion. They're big bottlers. They're soft little bottlers, Man United. That's the reality. I'm sorry. Because when that ball comes in, no one deals with it. Johnny Evans is kind of void of... I mean, how am I talking about Johnny Evans playing for Man United? What world are we living in? Johnny Evans kind of is in a tangle with Saliba. He's shouting. He looks miles off the pace, by the way. How's he playing for Man United? And then the ball comes into Declan Rice. He controls it, takes the touch and smashes it into the bottom of the net. It's a great finish because in that pressure, you might lace it. You might bend back a little bit and it goes into row Z. He showed a level of poise there that not many players would show. And that's the reality, because it's all well and good doing that in the 25th minute and blasting it in when you're 3-0 up. But to do that when you're chasing the game, and you need to win this game, Arsenal. Look at City. The way City smashed Fulham was absolutely unbelievable in terms of how dominating they look in the league already. So Arsenal had to win this game. That was a match-winning goal from Declan Rice. He hits it on target, hits it with control, with poise. He hits it like a leader. He hits it like Vieira's big goals for Arsenal through the years. Paul Scholes' big goals for Man United is reminiscent of that for me. Big finish. Hits it true. Comes off Johnny Evans. And there we go. The third ball played through. United are chasing the game. Gabby Jesus. Beautiful little finish. Good to see him back. Big for Arsenal to kind of get him back. Scoring goals, fully fit, moving good. He looks very fresh. And he looks really eager and desperate to score a goal today, which is obviously what he wants to do. And that's absolutely massive for him. Let's just overview both sides. I think Man United are in a world of pain, because the standards should be for Man United winning the league every year. They're not going to win the league this season. They've not won the league for 10 years. It's going to come into 11 years. Before you know it, it'll be 20 years. United fans will cry about the Glazers. Fair enough. It is being disastrously run. A club that size shouldn't be loaning Amrabat, shouldn't be getting in Johnny Evans, keeping Harry Maguire. You know, if they had unlimited money or a lot more, not unlimited money, but a bit more freedom with financial kind of things, I think they'd pay Maguire off and bring in Gvardiol 10 years ago. But they can't do that. Their business is so poor they don't make much money on sales. You know, that's just the reality. So Johnny Evans is there. It's absolutely embarrassing. Talk about Arsenal. Fantastic today. Havertz is a big passenger. It's happening every week. I'm talking about it on my videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe for more Havertz slander on the channel. Passenger today slows the game down, doesn't offer overlapping runs to even Odegaard when he's in that little position, or Declan Rice. Didn't offer any overlapping runs, really. His best moment was trying to get a penalty, and he dived, in my opinion. Doesn't offer any, you know, there was a ball that bounced about 5, 6, 7 minutes in, and he slices it like that. He slices it completely wayward. It was embarrassing. It was really poor. I think Arsenal would be on maximum points if it wasn't for Havertz on this side. It's not all his fault. But the extra quality, even if you throw Xhaka in right now in the same side with Declan Rice, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, that kind of thing, mixture of those three, I don't think they bottle it in the same way they did against Fulham. I don't think they look as nervous against Nottingham Forest. But something about Havertz, they're almost playing with 10 men. I'm not trying to be harsh. I just think that's the reality. Nketiah a little bit absent today for me, making some good runs. Martinelli was fantastic. He was the best out of the front three. Saka a little bit quieter points. Gabriel Saliba looked a lot more rock solid. Ramsdale a little bit better, but I still think Raya needs to come in. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd want Raya to be starting for me in goal. Zinchenko's actually a notable player for me, getting on the ball in midfield, knocking it around a little bit. I think Ben White at right back looks a lot more normalised for me. It looks a lot more natural. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll be covering Arsenal and all things Premier League in the next few weeks, well, for the next 9 months, of course. But make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Would really appreciate that. Arsenal 3-1 winners against Man United. They're serious title contenders.